It's about that time where we begin our weekly conversations. But before we do, here is a short backgrounder to set the pace.
A national park is an area set aside by a national government for the preservation of the natural environment. It may be set aside for public recreation and enjoyment or for its historical or scientific interest, while keeping most landscapes and their accompanying plants and animals in their natural states. Achieving this effective preservation requires that responsibility is assigned, hence the park ranger shoulders it. A park ranger, otherwise referred to as a ranger, park warden or forest ranger, is a person entrusted with protecting and preserving parklands, which could be national, state, provincial or local parks. It is also safe to say that a park ranger is a recreation professional who supervises state and national parks and monuments. Their central duty is ensuring visiting patrons follow laws and remain safe. They may serve in very specific capacities such as security, maintenance and conservation, education and emergency response. In attempt to carry out this periodic duty, park rangers face hazards of various kinds and degrees, thus celebration of World Ranger Day. The World Ranger Day is celebrated to commemorate rangers killed or injured in line of duty and to celebrate the work rangers do to protect the planet's natural treasures and cultural heritage. The theme for World Ranger Day 2023 is 30 by 30, and it aims at effectively conserving and managing at least 30% of the planet's area by 2030, among other objectives. We shall, in the interview segment of the program today, x-ray the rules of rangers in protecting our precious planet and what it entails to do so. Do stay tuned as the interview segment promises to be quite engaging and revealing.
Joining us in the studio to carry on this conversation is a fellow of the Wildlife Society of Nigeria, fellow of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, and the Conservator General, National Park Service Nigeria, Dr. Ibrahim Musa Goni. It's a pleasure to have you in studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so let's begin with the very obvious questions. In this whole digital age of artificial intelligence, all of that, technology moving to the next phase, how important are the national parks to the degree that we have, national rangers like yourself deployed to secure them?
Well, thank you very much. The national parks are contemporary issues.
Okay.
So whether digital, analog, national parks are always there.
Yeah.
And because national parks are always there, you realize that the total sum of the environment, is what man depends on. And if the activities of man is to continue unregulated, time will come when man himself will become nothing.
Wow. Is it that serious?
It is that serious. Because right now, you have some species that are endangered, some even extinct. So gradually, it will get to man. So the significance of national parks is to put aside some areas designated by the highest authority of any given country. Set them aside, 1, for protection, 2, for conservation, to be utilized sustainably. So that as you are protecting, you also allow usage, but sustainably. When we are to utilize sustainably, you can harvest. When you harvest plants by way of allowing legal hunting, you select what species are to be
And what
harvested
quantity of them?
and the quantity.
Yeah.
So in this case, you realize that you have to allow for old animals to be harvested, while you allow young to grow and litter again. Same way for the plants. When you realize that a particular area is being overexploited in your park, you cordon the area and allow regeneration. That way you are making sustainable use of it.
Okay, sir.
You can also have members of your community in groups, women group, youth group.
Okay.
Organize them, allow them to harvest certain species. Like in this part of the country, we have shea butter tree, we have the pakia trees. These are all economic trees. And allow women to form into group, and even the Ogbonna, which is mostly known in the south.
Yeah.
The organized women group, allow them under the guidance of the park to harvest these economic resources. They can sell them to empower themselves. They can also acquire them to be utilized for domestic uses.
This is brilliant, actually.
That way you are protecting at the same time conserving, allowing sustainable use. So therefore, in this digital age of the world, national parks are very, very crucial to even the technology itself, because the technology is one way or the other dependent on even the environment. Certain plants emit light. So when the plants are not there, even your communication, the waves are encouraged to be moved by the plants.
Amazing.
Your telephone and other things, even the wavelength of your hearing.
Many of the chemicals that we need for pharmacy, for industry, are sourced from plants. And it's amazing.
And the same plant that absorbs them, turn them back to use for utilization.
Wow.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go into the park of the park rangers now, the rangers themselves.
That's very good.
Who's a ranger? We understand who a police officer is, we understand who a soldier is. So who's a ranger in your view, sir, in your very experienced view?
A ranger is an officer that enforces wildlife laws in a national park.
Okay.
Underline the word national park.
National park.
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas a forest guard is an officer that enforces wildlife laws in a forest reserve.
Okay. So what's the difference between the national park and the forest
A
reserve?
game guard is an officer that enforces wildlife laws in a game reserve.
Okay. I'm being educated.
So you have game guards for game reserve, forest guard
for forest reserve,
national parks for rangers.
Yes.
National parks are areas managed by the highest country legal authority.
Okay.
In the case of Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Whereas forests and game reserves are managed by either states,
Okay.
of course, subnational entities, states or local governments. So there's a difference between a game guard, a forest reserve, and a national park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, let me ask, how hazardous is the work and dangerous is the work of a ranger?
Well, the hazards, if I may pass back the buck to you.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been in the forest reserve?
Forest, yes. National park, yes. Forest, no. National
So
park.
how do you imagine yourself being in the forest reserve? No telephone, no light, no any amenities to assist you. That is to put to you the hazard a ranger faces. You are here, you don't even know the immediate animal around you. It could be a snake, it could be a bee, it could be, of course, an animal walking on four, lions, leopards, and even baboons. You tend to think they are friendly, they are not.
Wow.
because you are as far as you are concerned, you are an invader into the environment.
Habitat.
So the only option for them is either to get you out or you leave the place. So this is what the ranger face. That is why you have to arm the ranger. You have to arm him, kit him for self-defense. And looking at the records by the International Ranger Federation this year, we have rangers that have been attacked, died by animals. We have rangers that died through homicides. We have rangers that died by accidents. We have rangers that died through sickness. We have even rangers that died through natural forces, fire, flood, and the rest of them. So in essence, the job of a ranger and the hazards he faces are enormous. Are enormous. And it is why we in the National Park Service have to thank the federal government of Nigeria, the President and Commander-in-Chief, and of course, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Environment for considering the plight of the ranger by, one, reclassifying the service as a paramilitary organization.
Great.
And providing the necessary kits and arms for us to operate. Of recent, the National Salaries and Wages Commission have reviewed for us what they call peculiar allowances and also reviewed our rent subsidy. These are all in the effort to appreciate what the rangers are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Wow. Let me ask, could you give us some stories? You know, there is nothing like actual stories from rangers, you know, their experiences, instances, some good, some not too good. Just to give us some. I'm fascinated because growing up as a child, these were things I would buy the books of wildlife parks of. So I'm very fascinated.
Well, maybe let me take you the lane of the International Rangers Federation.
Yeah.
You see, the International Rangers Federation came about because of some rangers in England and Wales felt that there should be support for rangers. They therefore came together. The National Rangers Association of England, the Scottish Country Boy Scout Association, and of course the community management areas in England and Wales came together, signed an agreement that there should be an association for rangers. How is this association going to be driven? Then came the Trim Green Line, which is a charity organization.
Okay.
That charity organization supports the activities of the International Rangers Federation. So by supporting the activities of the International Rangers Federation, it extends charity to rangers who have died, to rangers who are men, and to rangers who even disappear in the course of duty. Of recent, back to your story, my rangers in Oro National Park went on a patrol. When they went on a patrol, they encountered a group of miners.
Wow.
Miners. And wherever these miners move, they move along with bandits, kidnappers, and in some cases, insurgents.
Oh my goodness.
So there was an encounter and we had some casualties.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So we had 2 casualties. How did they die? You're asking of a story. They died from stoning. They were stoned. And the Rangers made every effort to ensure that they didn't fire.
Oh wow! They didn't want to,
because these people, some of them were armed, some were armless. So the ones that were armless, you know, as far as this the rules of the engagement is concerned, you have to observe these rules.
Yes.
So as soon as the Rangers were able to leave that scene, unknown to them, they were ambushed somewhere.
Oh dear.
They were ambushed. And a situation where you are ambushed is something that is unknown to you.
Yeah,
you didn't see the man attacking the enemy.
Yeah.
The enemy is not seen to you, the enemy is not known to you. All of a sudden you had a
Stone on your forehead.
Your forehead. That was how some of them fell. So, but thank God, the few that would have been killed along with them were rescued by the other rangers that were armed. So that is just one
story. So let me.
We also have a ranger who went on patrol. They went on patrol. They now say, okay, this was in Kanji Lake National Park. Okay. The leader, the team leader now say, okay, let us just check a particular water point to see the condition of that water point, whether animals are utilizing it, whether we have poachers, fishermen also utilizing it. By the time they visited the water point, to return to their base, one of them got missing.
Oh wow.
And up to today, we cannot account
for that person.
So you see,
it's a very, very risky job.
Yes.
It doesn't look like that until we begin to talk with those doing
and the joy of a ranger lies in the fact that he's able to overcome his enemy. We have also bad and good stories. So the ranger is always happy when he embarks on a patrol, he is able to bring suspects. Or his presence drives the suspect out of the. That is a joy.
Of the ranger.
These are things we celebrate.
How can we strengthen the job of the rangers? What can we do to strengthen their job?
The strengthening of the job of the ranger has started in Nigeria with the reclassification of the service as a paramilitary organization, with the opening of the gates of the Nigerian army to collaborate with the ranger, with the provision of, maybe let me quote Mr. President here, palliative for the ranger. I think the strengthening of the work of the ranger have started.
Okay.
Because as of now, year in, year out, their barracks are being rehabilitated.
Oh, great.
Uniforms provided.
Yes, sir.
And even the review of the arm is something that's strengthening the work of the ranger. So this is why I said the strengthening of the work of the ranger has started in Nigeria. We hope for more to be able to strengthen us the more so that we'll be able to face the challenges.
Interesting. Pleasure. I hope you'd be able to find. I remember when I was when we were younger in secondary school, would love to hear stories like this. So please try to make some time to reach out to the secondary school people. Let some of your rangers go. It will inspire the younger generation coming up.
That is why we have a section we call the Conservation Education Unit.
Fantastic.
And that section organizes conservation clubs in both primary and post-primary institutions.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So there these stories can be told. Yeah.
That's great. All right, the World Ranger Day 2023, we're talking about 30 by 30. It's celebrated every year. Tell us a bit about it, sir.
Well, the World Rangers Day 2023 has a theme, and the theme is Ranger, the natural solution to biodiversity conservation.
Yeah.
So, if the ranger is the natural solution to biodiversity conservation, in order to be able to achieve the 30 by 30 biodiversity global biodiversity framework,
Yeah.
it means that the ranger as an officer is being re-evaluated, and his status is being re-energized to be able to use him to achieve this global goal. Nigeria was in Montreal, Canada, where the 30 by 30 agreement was signed. And by signing that agreement, it means Nigeria pledged, one, to increase our national determined contribution
Okay.
to ameliorate climate change. It has also promised to adapt other sources of energy, clean energy sources,
Okay.
provide clean water, provide protection for the sea, provide protection for the land. These are all global targets set by the Montreal Conference. So with this signing, and with the ranger as a solution, it means we have to scale up our protection activities, our efforts in collaboration and synergy, and two, also prioritize the little resources so that we're able to operate optimally. So, and for the 30-30,
Yeah.
and with the ranger as a solution, like I've said,
Yes, sir.
it means with what is already on ground, the federal government has reviewed the national forestry policy.
Yes, sir.
It has approved the establishment of 10 new national parks, amongst which are 2 marine national parks. So it means Nigeria has already set out towards achieving these global goals and targets.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As we round up, as your last words,
Yeah.
just what would you like to say on the issue of the appreciation of the job, so that more people appreciate the job of the rangers as we round up, both to...
Well, what I want to say maybe as my last words, one, with what I've said about the efforts of the government, I want to thank the federal government of Nigeria for the support and the necessary policy that are being rolled out for us to implement. Two, I want to also thank our development partners, such as Nigerian Conservation Foundation, African Nature Investors, Sustainable Conservation Areas Management, WCS, and even on some individuals like Lara Suleiman, because as we are gearing up towards celebrating this year's 2023 World Rangers Day, they contributed and gave us support, including access pension. So in a nutshell, I want to extend my appreciation to these individuals and organizations.
Excellent.
And lastly, to convey Mr. President's condolences to the rangers I've lost, to the families of the rangers I've lost in Oyo. Thank you very much.
Doctor, it's a pleasure having you once again. It's always good. Every time you come, I just feel a little more emotional. Thank you very much. It's been good having you on the show.